the Chicago Bears have made their first cut of the season, cutting tight end Gerald Everett. Was it a good deal? Is it a smart move, saving $5.5 million? We're gonna talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Shy Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. I didn't even have time to change into Bears gear. Wanted to bring this news right away. I already was a little late on it than I like to be. I know when news drops, I like to be the first one to drop. A little bit behind today, but the Bears have officially informed Gerald Everett that they do intend to waive him. Now, this isn't too much of a surprise. I think the writing was on the wall. Saving an additional $5.5 million. To me, this does signal that the Bears are trying to free up some space because they do plan on making a sizable signing in free agency. So, it is what it is, right? He signed a 2-year deal at the time period. So, and under a coach like Ben Johnson, I do expect that Cole Kmet is going to be maximized more than he would. Gerald Everett was always a signing for Shane Waldron's system, right? And so I think that we never really used the 2 tight end sets like we thought that we would. And so even though he played in all 17 games, I think this kind of points towards a kind of refocus at that tight end position of Cole Kmet carrying the most of the load there. We'll see what the free agency ends up having when it comes down to that. But now the Chicago Bears sit at $74.5 million as far as a salary cap space to work with. Now, the reason why this is important, if they do make a move for somebody like a Trey Smith, it's going to take upwards of about $25 million, right? That means that they would still have roughly about $50 million to still work with, depending on how they structure the contract. So, Jared Everett is a move to help save some space. They have other moves that they can make as well. Dominique Robinson is another cut that I would expect to come down the pipeline sooner rather than later. Once he's moved, that adds another almost $2 million to the Bears cap as well. So, it's going to be, it is what it is when it comes down to that. Need to cut Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is not trash. He was underutilized. And anybody who tries to make Cole Kmet out to be trash is only a box. I lose respect for you because then you're a box score watcher. And that's not to say that Cole Kmet doesn't have his issues as a tight end, but to say that Cole Kmet is trash, no. Cole Kmet was knocking at the door as one of the top 5 to 6 tight ends in the league after the 2023 season. We had multiple games. I looked it up. There were 10 plus games where Cole Kmet had 1 or less targets. That means no targets in some of those games. So no, Cole Kmet is not trash. Cole Kmet was underutilized under the previous regime as far as with Thomas Brown and Shane Waldron as the offensive coordinators. But Cole Kmet is far from trash. I'm sorry, that's just not accurate at all. He has problems. I think he needs to be better at not being taken down on first contact at times as well. He can definitely do work in the blocking game. But Cole Kmet is far from trash. Anybody who tries, and see, this is where you have to be able to have a more intelligent conversation, because just trying to throw somebody out as trash, that's stupid. He's not trash. You have to come up with a better argument and say he's trash, bro, with laughing emojis. That's just stupid. I'm sorry. And I respect for you, Go Blue. I know you've been a supporter of the channel for a long time, but I'm sorry. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. That's a stupid take. And I have stupid takes sometimes too. That is a stupid take. And again, with all respect, but we brothers. The one thing that we do here at Chicago Bears Central, we ain't going to sugarcoat nothing. That's a stupid take, bro. This is not shattering news. We all knew this was coming and cutting and keep cutting all the dead weight. Who said it was shattering news? Right? Hope for a lot more cuts. This roster was absolutely not hard to make last year. That's another thing. That is another thing in that one. Kmet is going to have his best season yet in Ben's system allows. Look at Laporta. Exactly. And I think that Cole Kmet is going to be really used by Ben Johnson. When you look at how Ben Johnson has used tight ends, it points to the direction that Cole Kmet is going to have a season a lot like more like 2023 than in 2024 for sure. Did he even have a catch last season? I think Gerald Everett didn't he have I think he had one big game. And maybe by a big game, I mean like 60 yards and a touchdown. Let's see. I can't remember. Listen, Gerald Everett, I know, did not make a major impact at all. Let's look at the stats for Gerald Everett last year. 8 catches for 36 yards, no touchdowns. Yeah, he had to go. He had to go. That's like, listen, you could find somebody could do that. You could find somebody that could do that. He can't block. He can block. He's not always efficient at blocking, but that doesn't make him trash either. You know, a tight end's job, there's a lot more than just blocking, right? You understand that? And when we had a decent offensive line, he actually was a decent blocker. Not great, but that doesn't make him trash. He's not trash. Coaching matters. Exactly. Like you cut, it would save 6 to 8 million. I wouldn't miss him. Who you talking about? DeMarcus Walker should be on the list too. DeMarcus Walker could be an option there, right? Here's the thing. With DeMarcus Walker, he's been solid, right? It's been solid. It's not bad, but it's been solid. You got to ask yourself the value, right? And could you, by using that value, could you get somebody in here that makes a little bit different, right? That's where you got to look at. I think Full had 8 catches all season. Yeah, he had 8 catches. Gerald Everett, 8 catches all season on 13 targets. And he was in there. He played more snaps than Cole Kmet overall in the season, which is really weird, right? Finally, the bootiest of tight ends. I'm sorry, just not the right fit. I mean, yeah, because he has had productive seasons, right? So it may just not have been the right fit. I mean, overall, our offense left a lot to be desired for as well last year, right? Marifa Asa said drafted tight end. The TN class is deep in this. And if we get an additional third round pick because of Ian Cunningham leaving, I do think that running back, tight end, safety, those are some things that are on the board there, right? DeMarcus Walker is your depth. You need 2 players behind him as good or better to actually cut him. No, not necessarily. I like Gerald Everett though. I got mad love for Jared. I mean, not Gerald Everett. DeMarcus Walker. I think he's much better as a pass rusher on the interior defensive line. Interior, and he's a better in the run blocking on the run defense on the opposite side, right? When he's on the outside, so he's a versatile weapon. Thank you for supporting the channel. We appreciate you. That's first of all, let's go back. That deserves a little bit more praise. Shout out to Gold Blue, even though we disagreeing right now. This again, brothers, right? Like, listen, we're gonna disagree. We're gonna be a family here. It is what it is. He had a take I disagreed with. It is what it is, man. Remember when Shane and Flus tried to make Kmet Everett's backup? Exactly. That's what's crazy about it. Crazy about it, bro. I was talking about Kmet. All right, I got to go back to look at your comment. We need someone more athletic. No, Cole Kmet is perfectly fine there. He's perfectly fine. Um, no, I disagree with that. Cole Kmet is perfectly fine when you keep him engaged in the passing game. Now, you do need, and you can have some depth, right? I'm not saying that you don't want an extra tight end in there. You definitely do. Go blue with the tax write-off. That's hilarious. Use the 6th round pick on a tight end. Just need one that can block and catch an occasional pass. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Ben Johnson traded away Hockenstein when he took over. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 4th round pick or higher spent on the tight end. You won't see that. Not in this draft. I think he's fully going to give Cole Kmet a chance under his offense. Now, next year, maybe. But right now, there are more things that need to be addressed. I don't see them trading tight end. I never liked Everett, and considering he never earned a contract extension, I say none of the teams he played for. Like, oh, that's a good point there, Crimson. I mean, to never get a contract extension in the modern NFL. Hey, I mean, there is something to say about that. I would believe Cole Kmet have a bounce back. Yeah, I think he will under Ben Johnson for sure. I would cut Edmonds if it saves money. Let's take a look. Give me a second. I don't know what Edmonds contract or how much would convert into dead cap on him. But the thing with Edmonds is that listen, Edmonds has been disappointing, right? He's had some stretches where he's looked solid, but for the most part, Everett has been disappointing. I keep saying Everett. Edmonds has been disappointing. I'm not going to make an argument for anything other than that. The thing is, though, is that, and this is why I asked the question a couple of episodes ago about the linebacking core is, where's the upgrade? Right now, Jack Sanborn is a free agent, so you got to look at that, of course. So this year, signing workout cap hit. So yeah, you're probably not going to cut Tremaine Edmonds this year. If he's cut this year, $13 million goes into dead cap space. We've never seen Ryan Poles take on that much dead money. Now, next year is probably where he may be cut at. Next year, it's only $2 million in dead cap, and you end up saving 15 million. Edmonds would be 13 million in dead cap, which means you only get 4 million extra added to your books. I don't see them doing that. I don't see them doing that. But I could be wrong. I just don't think that they're gonna do that with Edmonds. So they want Kmet to be Mark Andrews 2.0 in his prime, the red zone ball. Yeah, I can feel that. Next off season, I could definitely see Edmonds being cut, especially if he has another year like the last few years. I definitely see him being cut in that case. But all right, y'all, I got to get ready to wrap it up. Got to go get the kid. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Chi Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. With a number